let's check it out. See if we're da-da-da-da. April 10th. That is today. Are we live? I don't see myself playing for some reason. Why is it not playing? One waiting. No, we're not waiting. It should be live. Hopefully we're live. I apologize for the difficulties. We must be, I see a little love coming. Let me know in the comments. Loud and clear. You're back. All right, let me turn this up just so I can kind of hear. Still a little slow, it looks like. Okay. Here we are. We're here. We're present. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. So, okay, that's what I got. I need your guys' help. So I had a question, and this is what I was going to get at. So that way, if nobody has to watch the whole thing. You know, I know it's long, but I need that way if subscribers or whoever looks at this later on, please email me. Please put it in the comments. You know, if you've heard or seen or anything that just seems like it relates to this. So let me go back to the pictures. So what I had was, so this is from Cap. We had a customer put up a new building. I think there's 3 or 4, like they're 12 by 12s, 12 by 14, 14 by 14, bigger kind of commercial doors. No big deal. And what it was is, so this is we installed doors there, and we also installed garage door openers. They're commercial openers. I think they're probably T50 something, you know, LiftMaster fatty ass. Man, they might be genies. Doesn't matter. It's photoized. So the question, he says, have you ever heard of an electrical inspector requiring special photo eyes? The customer is telling me they either have to have some kind of compliance or they need to be 4 feet off the ground. Huh? For photo eyes? I mean, to me, photo eyes was always 6 inches or lower, right? Because we're looking always for human entrapment, right? We're always trying to protect life. He falls down, somebody gets pinned, they slip, they fall, you know, the door comes down, maybe a cat, dog sometimes, you know. But so it got me thinking, because I heard that. I told him, I said, I would call. I said, you know, I didn't know if we should jump right to LiftMaster and call them or something to ask this. You know, I thought, well, let's call the biggest vendor in Michigan. They might have some knowledge of, like, they've heard of this. Now, I know they're not going to probably give you legal advice, and every township is different in every city, state, and country, and blah, blah, blah. But I just never heard that before. So then my brain was, if you guys watched some of the old videos of mine where we did the one for the trucking company, we didn't install those doors, right? Those were big doors. They were about 20 by whatever they are, 16, 20 by 20s. And the photo eyes were, you know, all up to my chest roughly, you know, and that really threw me. Hey, I see we got 6 likes too. Thank you guys for the likes. So that threw me. I thought, man, I can't believe this. You know, this company's been around. They're a big competitor of ours in a sense. You know, I mean, they're a lot bigger than us. And I just thought, man, I can't believe that they, you know, put them up so high and they didn't do a secondary one. Now, I've seen it before, like Menard is one of them, that normally will have one low, one high, right? And I get that for a vehicle, but these are automatically at 4 foot. And I just thought, I don't know about this. Why at 4 foot? So I guess if you guys know anything or have heard or know something I don't, you know, please, like I said, either comment later on, comment in the video, email me. So I'm kind of wondering. So I told him, I also said, well, I'd possibly get with the inspector, and I'd want to see what he's looking at that makes him require that. Now, I do know there was something mentioned about it being a service room, and that was part of the reason why that, I think maybe just that door, there's some details I'm missing, that room was going to have to be the 4 foot or something like that. I don't know exactly right, but I just wanted to bring it up to you guys to see if you guys have ever heard an inspector or something saying, nope, at 4 foot, not at 6. You know, that just seems like, there's a lot of times when you come with the township stuff, you know, like they won't go against whatever's engineered, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to be liable, you know what I mean? Because in a nutshell, if they ever go against something that you don't feel comfortable, tell them, say, that's fine. We're going to write up a contract or something, and that's going to be on you. You know what I mean? Like they normally don't like doing that. They normally chicken out, and they'll be like, oh, if that's what how it's engineered, or if that's what it says in the manual, or that's how it says by the, you know, how it's correctly, then, you know, that's fine. You know, sometimes fire departments do that too. Let me go with some of these comments. Loud and clear, Tanner says. You're back. We're back. Live. Awesome. What's the issue with photo guys? Johnny, hopefully that was enough. Hopefully you got it. Rule. What's that? It says he thinks it's handicap code. Let him know. What do you got on there, Johnny? What are you getting on? It says he thinks it's handicap code. What do you mean by that? Are you being serious? Is that, I don't know if that's, they need a photo curtain. The Lift Master, you think? The LC36M? Could be. I just sometimes, you know, I don't like playing those games. You know, it's like, what are you looking at? You know, what is your, because you know how it is. We could put something in there. Nope, that's not what I said. You know, it says right here, this is what I want. You know, and it's like, okay, what do you want? So, but I was thinking that too. I thought, well, we could do, two photo eyes. We could do a light curtain. But it just threw me. I thought, I've never heard any say something like that. Now you know how it is. It's through the customer. The customer might be something interpreted, but it's kind of a, you know, it sounds like it might be. It might need it. But all I heard was about possibly being a service room. And I don't know quite. The place kind of does like plumbing and stuff. And then, you know, they're gonna have some vehicles in there, but I don't think it's like they're not doing like oil changes or anything. So I don't know if it's more like human interaction, and that's why, or they're really looking out for a vehicle not to get, you know. So I guess that's why that the other job, those ones were all 4 foot, and I was like, I don't know how they got away with this. They got semis, but I just thought I can't believe they got them at 4 foot and change them, but I thought if somebody slips or falls, these are big doors, man. These ones will come down and kill somebody. You know, I thought if they travel, you know, I slip under that 4 foot, I thought, you might be kissing your hiney goodbye. Curtain. Tanner says, I thought it was 6 inches, but trucking buses can have higher because 6 inches is not enough to hit the majority of the goal. Menards has 2 on each door, 6 inch and 4 foot. Yeah, that's what I've seen. So I just was surprised, you know, the inspector didn't say something more like it's going to need another set of photo eyes if it was the case. So like I said, I'm just putting it out there. If anybody says, dude, I know I've had before, this is what's kind of going on. You know, I'm just trying to get the brain, you know, the dried up grease in there kind of moving around. You know what I mean? Just to think about it a little bit. So we'll see how it turns out. If I find out any more, I will you guys definitely know. Because like I said, I was kind of like thrown away when I was like, Spectre something, you know, special photo eyes requires special photo eyes. Special. Okay. Well, there's the ones that are on it are special. Those are made for the opener. Mr. Tony. You guys get a chance to check out Tony's. Papa Tony. Tony's Garage Door Service on YouTube. He put up a video today. It was pretty hilarious. Him and his little semi truck. Delivery, pretty sweet. I had to show the wave. We had a little laugh. Ever after. It's all 284,505 bottom seal. And rollers. $2,400. Nice. How much of it did you get to keep? What's the profit? Service, huh? So Johnny's all right. Let's see what we got here. Johnny says handicap code is 42 to 50 inches above the floor. Oh, that is. But maybe need to learn this code book, he says, or it's a local thing. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't quite know. far as I always knew, it's 6 feet, or not 6 feet. It's 6 inches. You know, depending on the situation, I normally shoot for like the 4, 5. I try not to go over 6. It happens sometimes, you know what I mean? But I try not to get them too low because we got snow and we got leaves. Leaves are always a big problem. Leaves and cobwebs. $20 an hour. $20 no holla. Rusty's getting on him. Rusty's getting on him. $20. $20. I think the old inflation, boy, she's. I talked to. We had a problem. We're having problems, which I know a lot of you guys don't deal with gate operators, but I don't know what's going on. A lot of quality control issues are out there, and I guess Cap was saying something about he's put on 2 rollers on a gate that's not very big. It's not a really big gate. It gets used pretty often through the day for a particular customer. And he said, I put a steel one on there, a metal one that's got a grease zerk on it. And he says it chewed that thing up. I guess he put a nylon roller one here now. And he said that one's screaming. And my brain started ticking a little bit, and I said, who's the manufacturer? Now we get them from a vendor, and our vendor does normally a really, really, really good job, but they, everybody has their hiccups, right? And ever since the co in the vid, things have gone. For one, the prices have almost tripled, in price. So cantilever rollers are just ridiculously expensive. So I don't know if they try to find a cheaper vendor or what. So I asked him, I said, well, what's the vendor? And he said, well, we just get them from this place, from Stevens. And I said, okay. So I remember Weldon wanted meat products at one point. And so I ended up looking them up. I haven't talked to them in quite a while. And I did the normal, call their phone number. It's basically like saying almost like disconnected, or the number you've dialed is in. I'm like, all right, maybe that, sometimes Google's weird like that. So I click on it a different way. It still says it. All right, I'll punch it in manually. So I punch it in manually, and we got 23. That 6 is not going. It's 20. It's actually 20. Sorry. There we go. We got one. Well, we got 7. I appreciate it, but I'm just trying to figure out if there's real people or if those are just AF. We live in a strange times. So he I typed the number in, call the number again. You typed in the wrong number. I'm like, all right, this is bullcrap. So now I go to their website. I click on the website. The website comes up with something totally different. Like, all right, well, how is this working out? So I call. It's a different name on the website. I'm starting to get that weird spidey senses. Company, they got bought out, something. Maybe it's just an umbrella. Maybe that's a company. So all right. So I call a different number on their website and get a lady, back, very nice lady, and she answered all my questions for me. I still haven't made a determination. I told her about the situation. She said these are what I see most popular, which I didn't think. She wasn't quite getting the point. I was kind of trying to explain to her. I was like, I don't really care what's popular. Basically, I want the most expensive one. So I want the most expensive one. I want the most durable one. I want the best one you got. The best bearings, American made. I want the one that's like $1,200 roller. That's what I want. And I don't think she was really getting it. She just kept saying, well, these are what I see most people buy. And I said, well, okay. I don't know what we're mostly getting. I want the best. And so I got to go look through some of it a little bit. But yeah. Problems, quality problems. You guys were jumping through here. I seen it. Did I miss anything? 20, Rusty. How much did it take you? Yep. Not my own company yet, but it will be soon. All right, how many years experience do you have? Took me 3 hours to do both of them. Nice. Did the backhangs. Finished is new curtain sensor. Got an email about them a while back. Says fully open photo sensor Pretty cool. Haven't sold one yet, but hoping to someday. I've done a few just like the LiftMaster ones, but nothing crazy. You know what I mean? So, well, I guess we'll have to find out. We'll have to find out how the cookie crumbles. I have worked for this company for 3 months. What state? Minnesota. It gets cold and nasty there. I think Minnesota's worse than Michigan, honestly. Weather-wise, at least for the cold and the snow. What's the calorie? We use Master pony rollers for gates. Oh, are they pretty good? Are they solid? Do pretty good gates, like 40 foot overall. Maybe what would that be? Like a 16? Oh, yeah, we got 30-foot openings, something like that. I didn't bring a pen and paper. It's got to be something. Oh, we got stick. Where? So let me write that down. I need all I can get when it comes to this stuff. They keep changing stuff. So this is good. Poly. I don't know why. What? Put on here gate roller. I guess what it was is what got me is a scene from this. Thank you. I've seen from this vendor. It's like the bracket changes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's how do I explain it? The bracket that mounts to the 4-inch post, it's different. Like it changes. Like sometimes it's got more of like a square looking shape to it versus a round. So I'm wondering if they sent us maybe some cheaper ones or something. I've seen boxes change a little bit. So I don't know. I just know he's having a problem. And it's something, it's just one of those things that we shouldn't have a silly little problem with a roller, and it's a good customer. So, we want to have something that works. And the customer is one of those customers that does not care about price. They just want stuff to work. So, they don't have one. It's all pay per job. What's up, Tony? It's not real, Dave. What you got in there? What's this Master? What's Master Helco or whatever that is? That's part of these rollers? Or am I missing something? All right, I was just down too, just for, the midnight's coming, man. That's what I always tell my wife. She always something about food, and I'm always like, there's always midnight, honey. I'm like, gotta have me a midnight snack. Anybody else like having midnight snacks? Master. I'm just gonna write it down. Like I said, you can always Google it. Google. Write that down. What's up, Tanner? Dave. It says Dave don't have 30 friends. I know. I got 30. What do we got? Bounce around 20 something and only 11 likes. It's AI. It's AI generated. They're trying to make me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm just here for the free popcorn. What's it looking like for tomorrow? You guys are more welcome. Like I said, if you're new, if you're seasoned, you're an old timer, I appreciate y'all. But you guys are more welcome asking questions. Bring them up. That's what I do the lives for. We're a nice, great community here. We're here for you. So it's always a great time to bring up stuff. You got questions, all that good stuff. Problems. What do you got tomorrow? What are you guys doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Should we just go to the bar? Forget it. Just go to the bar. I'll just go to the bar. And you make money too. Tanner, I'm looking. Caramel corn. Oh, you guys don't get the snow? Man, I don't know. There's a guy over there named Stan Gen X. You ever watch him? Dirt Monkey. He might not get as bad, I guess, but I know the upper state of Michigan, man, it got hammered. I keep getting stuff, little clips of that ice storm. Man, we got the Mackinac Island. That puppy got slammed too. I guess there's a lot of roads. This is looking at a map, how many roads are impassable around there, which is everything is like horse and buggy. They don't have actually really cars, maybe a couple emergency vehicles. But people are stranded, man. I mean, it's like I feel really bad. I wish I wish I knew there was a way, like to like actually really help. You know what I mean? Like if somebody just, I don't know, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I wish there was something I could do. I wish there was like a somebody who's come up like a website where you could go to and you'd be like, I'm gonna take care of this person, like some older people or whoever or whatever. They're really hurting for gas, be fresh water, just something where you could go in there, help of some sort, and make a difference. Do 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 do. Ever after, what is your business plan? Transition from employee to owner. Ooh, Rusty's getting deep here. Master. Okay, helical poly rollers. Never had an issue. 8-foot gate with barb, etc. 30 no problem. Man, perfect. Perfect. That's what I need. That's what I need. So, hey, I'm just curious. Johnny, have you ever used Weldon? I think that's how you say it, Weldon. Weldon. Have you ever used? They're out of Florida. Have you ever used theirs? And like, do you think theirs is like not as good as the Master? The Helco or whatever. I'm just curious if you ever experienced them. To me, I kind of thought rollers are rollers. What I know is not the right way to think about it, but I know I've been touching more lately. And you know how like when how you like to play with a roller, right? You get a roll on your finger or something, slow roller, whatever kind of roller, right? Your wheel bearing roller, bearing. I spin them and like I noticed like the last set I did, I just thought feels a little clanky, like it doesn't feel smooth, and I just was like, and nowadays you just never know. I kind of went on a little rant the other day because I don't know, it's one of those things you guys let me know. Because I feel like I'm going crazy all the time. You know how like you either deal with a product, but then you're like you shit and you're like, I think this doesn't feel as good as quality. Like something changed. And I was explaining to the wife, I was going on a little rant about how with little gate operators, we had a problem where they changed the beeper, right? The little beeper, little black beeper, they changed, and I've been installing them for years, and all of a sudden I'm like, I get a call from like, random customers. And it's like, of course, it's all over the place in a sense because they're not all in like 5-mile radius. And, customers like the beeper stopped working. And I'm like, it happened. It just happens. And then by the time you start getting about 3 to 6 to 8, like, man, what's going on here? Like how, like, and they don't look any different. There's no notifications. There's never a sticker on the thing or the packaging saying, hey, we've changed our beeper. Hope you like it or anything. You're sitting there scratching your head. You call tech support, so you're blue in the face. You're like, hey, I got a problem. They're like, oh, we'll send you a new one. Okay, but have you had any problems? Oh, no, we haven't heard of any of them. And you're like, are you freaking lying to me? Just don't lie to me. Just tell me the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going nuts here. I'm losing sleep at night. And I remember until I went to a convention, I found one of the sales guys, and I'm like, and they're eating a hot dog, and I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on with these beepers? I'll put this down for a second. Come here, Dave. Ooh, I got a story to tell you. Show the company we used to get them from. Yeah, they went out of business. I'm like, that's all I needed to know. If tech support would have told me this, somebody's not having a good day. I said, support would have told me this, like all these old openers I'm tearing out, I would start with the beepers out. So I found out the old beepers had a green sticker on them. So I started tearing the beepers out because, and then of course, like we installed one, and like soon at this convention, this guy tells me, and I'm sitting there like, I almost feel like I can feel my blood rushing out of my head. I'm like, oh gosh, like we installed one for that one really cranky lady. And I installed the best, I spent the most money for this opener. And I guarantee it was like 5 days later or something. She calls the secretary. Her beeper stopped working. And this lady was an old, cranky lady, let's just say, in the nice way. And she called and she told the secretary, I need somebody down here right now. Right now. Right now. This beeper stopped working on this gate, and this is a safety hazard. And I'm just like, I'm getting the phone call from the secretary, and I'm just like, why didn't they tell me? If I would have known, if they would have told me, I would have gladly changed the beeper out. So I had to scrounge around out of an old gate operator, take an old beeper that's 25 plus years old to stick in there. But you know how many like psychological barriers you're going over? Like you're like, man, we've had all these problems. Did I wire it up wrong? Did I put the wrong voltage? I'm not Sparky. I'm not doing high voltage. How many have I done and never had a problem? Am I doing something? No, I'm wiring it up the same. Like, that's the stuff that irritates me. Like when they change things. They don't say, hey, we changed something for good or for worse, and now you're like, why am I having these problems? Hello, USA. Is that China? I don't know what that is. I can't read it. I'm sorry. Website going. I just purchased about 4K worth of opener and springs. Why so much? Why so much? Why so much? We got to get you up to speed, man. Use the box stores. A little cheaper that way. Unless you got to get a little more information on that. You know what I mean? Just saying. Just saying. Keep your money. Keep your capital. I'm about as mean as they come. I hear you. Well, I just want to put it out there. I use the box stores. If you're just starting out, depending on the scale or whatever, you know what I mean, and buy the product as you need it. If you can find a vendor, which I know is really tough for some people, if you can find a vendor, that'd be great. Just use them. Like I said, here in Michigan, we've been very lucky. We've got multiple. I don't remember how many. It's quite a few. There's that we can use on a drop. And that's what I used to do when I first started out. I used to run, basically get product, and then as we've grown, you run out of time and you don't want to, there's liability, being on the road, accidents. So you want everything shipped here. But still, if there's an emergency, sometimes you still got to run. If you need a big commercial opener or something, we're lucky. But if you can find something, that's great. But for the most part, like I said, if you could use the box stores, because just a hint, just my opinion, Uncle Dave's opinion. Like I said, most people, what I found out, care about the openers, especially residential. They just want to go up and down. You can either have them you can purchase it. I'm going to do a little beta test, I think, here pretty soon. I'm going to purchase one. I think I'm going to try, I know it sounds funny, but I think I'm going to try a Pro Max. I'm going to try a Pro Max. I'm going to buy it. Might even do a little review on it, play with it. And then I think I might put it up for sale and see if how that goes. Because finding through with the old marketplace and all that goes, hey, we got 14 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I'm finding that you gotta tell people what to do. And it's like, hey, here's an opener, here's the price, here's the installed price if you need it to be installed. Otherwise, purchase it. Because otherwise people just, I don't know where they come from. I don't know if they just are up in Mars. They act kind of goofy. Like they just don't understand certain stuff. So you just kind of got to make it like, here's this, here's the price, here's maybe your radius of what, and you go from there. Tony, I have a question. You get a shirt? What? Me? How dare you? Where is the delete button? Make sure, Tanner, he's in an out or something, would you? Let's see here. This is maybe it's forever after. Okay. Sherwander, can wait. Can it? Can your shoulder wait? Japan? Is it Japan? That's cool. Japan? Man, I hear Japan. You should send me an email. You should. Send me pictures. I heard Japan is actually pretty nice in a sense. It's clean. At least a video couple I've seen. They whack you if you're doing stuff. They punish you pretty good. I mean, the video, it kind of made me think, maybe, yeah, I'm not going to Japan. Tanner, ever after just whining. The best thing to do is learn by mistake, but best place to learn is on your own and get us. Yes, and you got us for questions, right? Got us for questions. That's what we're here for. Rusty. Tony, you talking to me? This is I ordered a brute winder. What? What is this? I ordered a brute winder and a Milwaukee drill. Oh, job, conduit in the way. Oh, snap, man. Moving up, man. You guys are all moving up in the world. Tanner, at least get us titanium bars for now. Totally worth the money. I wonder what's so nice about the titanium. Just because they look cool? That why? Wes is getting so rough. I need to get a new cup. Let's see here. Rusty. Ever after, I would stay at your job and use their work to get exposure to different types of repairs. That's good advice, I think. Yeah, bases down. I've done new installs, low hydro panel swaps, roller springs, torsion swaps, which is true. Which I just want to bring it up. Like this is just, 100% my opinion. I just don't, like I said, I just don't feel like it's still, how do I say it? There's always a great time to make extra money, right? There's always, because there's always the weekends, but I don't think it's a good time still to jump ship full tilt unless it's, what do they say? You got to make twice as much as what you're making right now, or 3 times. Well, that's the hot water. I'm thinking, holy crap, the water's running. Or the water bill here goes erratic. It's tons of money. But that's what I think, because right now, man, money is tight, man. Money, I mean, when I was talking to that place with the rollers, the Weldon, I told the lady, I said, why rollers, they've gone up in price a lot. And she's like, yeah, she goes, I hate to tell this, but I shouldn't say how much, but she said they went up quite a bit again. And I said, yeah. She says, yeah. She says, the tariffs. I said, I just, no surprise, no surprise. It is what it is, And so, like I said, I don't see, I'm seeing stuff in the car markets. I'm seeing stuff in the housing market. I'm seeing stuff with tons of other businesses. Spring is not spring like it normally is. And I would say even for us, it's just not the normal spring. We've not had the big rush like we normally would. You know what I mean? It's chugging along, but and I just wonder if anybody can put in the comments if you've talked to somebody that's local to you or yourself have done it. Has anybody got on the bandwagon of buying more stuff, garage doors, tires, alternators for cars? I don't know. Because of the tariffs, like they're trying to consume before, because, I'm just curious. Because I'm pretty sure, let me check. Let's see what the schedule says here. See if it pops right up. I think one guy's on vacation, so it might not pop up, and I might not know how to dig it up. I don't. This computer's different. It's not right on the main screen anyways. Oh, well. All right. I got the bases. Eagle, never use Weldon unless that's the steel ones. No, it's Let's go for a little walk here for a second, because for one, my TV's not turning on. I don't know if this darn thing's broke. Security one it still records, but I don't have my normal. Oh, maybe I hit the button too much. I don't know. You gonna turn it on? Come on. Let's see if we got a roller out here. I think I brung them. Yeah, we got something. Let's take a look. Since we're on it. Oh man, I'm getting old. Oh, I think we got a small one. So like this would be I'm pretty sure this is a Weldon one. I don't think it says it anywhere, honestly. But it's just a nylon. Our nylon rollers work pretty good. They have worked pretty good. And then, I don't know if this is, I don't think this is the one that burned up on them. It could be. This would be just a normal steel one. I don't know who, but it's greased up good. But, what's this thing saying there? Let's see what this says. It says, please grease for best performance. So it's well lubed. And these ones were misordered. Luckily, we didn't need them. These are 6-inch ones, right? Ugh. Same thing, Weldon. I'm pretty sure, anyways. Let me see if the packaging says anything. No, I think it just. Oh. The package says something. That could be the problem. I don't think we're playing nice right now. Yeah, somebody have to look at some different ones. What is up with this computer? It's TV. Why are you being... What do? They break you? Let's see if it stays on this time. Oh, I don't know. Looks like it's dying out. All right, let's get to these comments. Let's check them out. What do we get? We got up to 15 likes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Trusty metal drill, brute winder, up today after being back ordered for 2 months. Huh, thing's a beast. To know how the Milwaukee one works, let me know. Yeah. Japan's got says, how are you? Doing great. I can't read the rest of it. Rusty's not wrong. After 3 months, what's the guy? Is not much for time. You need time to run into multiple different jobs and scenarios. I didn't really even fully trust my guys till the first year. I'm always checking their jobs. He said, let the company you work for pay for your mistakes. It's free to you. Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that. I mean, like I said, it was, when I was when I was doing it with my business partner, it took me a year, at least a solid year. And I'm a slow learner, but it took me a solid year just to kind of understand. Now, I'd probably grab it faster now that I'm an older man, thinking like that, kind of sticks a little quicker than when I was younger. But, it took me a year just to feel like I'm like, oh, okay, I know what to do. And I mean, like, that was like when you came across like a low headroom where they wind it, that was awkward. You were like, oh, I've never done this before. Like, you're like sitting there really thinking about how you're doing everything, winding and stuff. And then, like I said, it was basically 5 years. 5 years, I was pretty much like, I walk into every situation, I'm like, I got this. Now, it wasn't that I still didn't get stumped or I still didn't learn things, but I felt way more comfortable where I thought if a door is hanging by 2 rollers up in the air, I wasn't like where before I'd be like, mommy, I'd just say, like, I don't know what to do, and probably going to die. But yeah, like I said, it takes time, it takes time. Like I said, and plus if you got a good revenue source coming in right now, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because I can't say for sure things have been real, but I remember, like I said, I went through the 06, the 07, the 08 crash. And right now, I don't know where we're at. You know what I mean? I don't know where we're at. Tariffs are coming, tariffs are going. Tariffs are coming, tariffs are going. Stock market took, I'm sure you guys have seen the same thing. The stock market has taken huge crashes in the past few days. That stuff will mess with people. And all it takes is it starts taking people on this thing, on that thing. All they got to do is start saying the R word and saying things aren't good, and people. That's why they say, who control media controls the masses. You know what I mean? Because they're sheep. You know what I mean? They will. Oh my gosh, wolf, the bad wolf. So they will contract, and like you don't normally see that so much in the commercial or the new builds that are already in the process, because once you start those jobs, you got to keep going. You know what I mean? But the residential, yeah, honey, what we really? I went to a family member's not too long ago, and their opener, they know a guy. They actually know 2 guys, Mr. Caleb and Uncle Dave, and their opener is broke. Like, it's just the trolley came. You know how the lift master will separate off the like it's an ATS basically on a 12-foot door or something. But came off, and they're parking a car in there, but they're just using it by hand. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying stuff like that will happen. So the opener have a failure, and they'll still use it by hand, or they'll park outside as a lease. So there's a lot of stuff you got to watch where I just don't want people to get trapped. Because you can do stupid things when you're in those situations. You can really run yourself ragged. You can think, oh, I just need to spend all this money. If I get shirts and I get my truck wrapped, car wrapped, and I get, I do all these things. It's, well, guarantee. It's kind of that whole thing with Google, the phone book. There's no guarantee. They're not going to give you your money, but you'll be committed to making a car payment, a phone payment, a Google payment, and sometimes there's things you can't. I got certain apps that will send me leads, and I have one right now that hasn't sent me one, and I normally get I get about 3 or 4 a week. I got one in almost a month and a half, I would say. So I don't think people have disposable income. I know I'm going. We'll hope to fail forward. Somebody got whacked. Kevin got him. Good job. Good job. Do you like those garage door screens with the doors in them? So at the rant. Appreciate it. So the garage doors with the screens, I don't really know exactly which ones those are, but we don't really deal with them, and there's so many different options. People can, I know there's companies separately you can buy them. You can buy the box stores too. Some people just use the magnets. Some people use Velcro. So I never mess with them. Maybe should, because I do see there's probably a demand somewhere for it. What is your channel about? Garage doors, business, all kinds of stuff. We have a vendor about an hour away. They wholesale openers and springs to me, as well as doors and wholesale. Perfect. I'd use them. Like I always think about it. If I was starting over again, I would, for me, use the box stores, because you cannot beat the box store prices. You just can't. And the beautiful thing about the box stores is that you have unlimited support, right? How many times you go into a box store? They really typically do not care. You know what I mean? You bring a box back in, parts, problems, opener, they want 100% customer satisfaction. And the person there is not the owner. You know what I mean? They just normally don't care. So you can bring it back, you can throw it down, say it don't work. You know what I mean? And be a remote or a keypad fell out because of the inconvenience. I'm not saying what to do, but these things happen. And they say, go grab another one if you want, or you can do your money back or whatever. And you can just go grab another unit, and you don't have to worry behind the scenes, right? You don't have to deal with yourself. You don't have to deal with a secretary. You don't have to deal with a wife. You don't have to deal with an ex. You don't have to deal with the vendor and explain what happened, or it's local, it's close. You get it taken care of, boom, you move on to the next one. You don't worry about returning it. That's another thing. I mean, you do, if you got to go to the box store, you got to return it. But I just think there's so many things, like I look back where, this is me personally. I used to focus so much that if it's like, if I'm a LiftMaster, if I could just get in with LiftMaster, you know what I mean? Everybody knows LiftMaster. I'm going to be a millionaire. That's not normally how it works. They just want it fixed. I mean, how many times you take your car in, right? And you sit there and like, sir, you make sure you put the genuine OEM parts back on there, right? The ones that were built in 1999, the same, like, I need that. No, you just don't really want the part fixed. You just want it fixed. You want it done. Maybe you want a good part, use Napa or something or whatever. You just want it fixed. You know what I mean? You know how it is. They're rebuilt. They're not really technically the original ones anymore. It could be kind of old. You know what I'm saying? Like, normal people just don't care. I've thought about that so many times over the years. Now, if I come into a customer that has another LiftMaster and I can match it up, then I'm going to go that route possibly. If that's what they'd like to do, I'd ask them. There's just so many more things I would ask instead of just assuming that, if I get one with this manufacturer, they're going to be my savior. You know what I mean? Because there's so many. There's so many car manufacturers. There's so many spoon manufacturers. There's so many tire manufacturers, so many garage doors. And you just got to find what works for you. You know what I mean? If you have good luck with AMR, use AMR. If you have good luck with Wayne Dahl, use Wayne Dahl. If you have good luck with whoever, just use them. And they're close, work with you, they're nice. And then use specific things when you have to. You might need certain parts or stuff like that. That happens. But if you got a vendor like that, that's about the same distance, roughly about an hour away. That's about as far as ours is. And, we just get if we need something. Otherwise, we most time bring stuff in. For the most part, it just depends on your level. That's how I look at it. It depends on your level. For us, we get skids and stuff normally. So we're not, to the store and buy onesie twosies and the time, when you're standing in line and all that kind of stuff. You're first starting out, you got the time. You know what I mean? Like you normally don't got customers, bam, 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 lined up. So I better watch my power sources. 47. Yeah, we probably should do this. Switch it in a minute here. And we just sold to a local donut. Oh, see, is it My Japan's? My Japan's. Hope we're doing good. For us, does the win? I'm not saying, like I said, but it was. I ain't gonna lie, Performance Max. It was refreshing. I ain't gonna lie. It made me feel young again. See the screws on the side, and I didn't really like the whole force setting thing on the back, and it's a Guardian product, far as I can tell. But I thought, I guess I look at openers as they're kind of like, I look at everything in life like this. Every car manufacturer has good models, bad models, and these were good models, but now they're bad models. So things are always evolving, which sucks. I ain't gonna lie. It flat out sucks. I'd rather, when I first started out, I was doing the 8365, correct me if I'm wrong, boys. 8365s back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. Solid, man, solid. I just installed opener after opener after opener and never had a problem. I come across, I don't want to say a ton, but most of the time I came across genie after genie zapped, board failure. Let me just install you a beautiful LiftMaster. No problems. They don't have the lightning strikes. And then all of a sudden it was like, man, we're starting to get callbacks. Like what's going on here? Well, now they changed the circuit board. Now we went to we had the curly Q light bulbs. Then we went to LED light bulbs. Now the remotes are screwing up. Now they're not getting the right distance. All these problems. And then we were just having, weird electronical problems with LiftMaster. And so all of a sudden it's like, man, we're not installing. I mean, it's like have to go out and do repairs or service work. Well, as a business owner, you start kind of going, man, what the hell's going on here? And then when you start thinking about it, you're going, I'm out doing work, a quarter of the day, even, let's just say, not even half the day, a quarter of the day. That's work that I'm not getting paid for, and then, you're doing this work and like, I'm losing out also on work I could be doing because I'm behind on work. So either I got to work later in the day or I got to work the weekends. And, so you're always chasing product. Product is always a big factor. You know what I mean? So we went over to the Genie. Genie served us well. Like I said, we still love the commercial, the better line of their commercial openers. Like I said, me and Cap were talking about one day. It just kind of dawned on us. Hey, you ever change a circuit board in one? No. Have you? No. It's kind of weird now. I think of it. Never changed it. Have you ever done one in a LiftMaster, like a J50 or a T50? Hell yes. A lot of them. Not every one, but a lot of them. And so, one of our vendors was talking about that too, saying that's the reason they were supposedly going to Gene. But because they said that they're having circuit board problems. And I thought, you're just giving me this sales pitch. So you got to be willing to change. That's just how it is. Because one thing I've learned in business is that, it's kind of like when I had my Ford truck, right? I had the 6, it was lemon of a motor. It didn't make me no money. It cost me a lot of money. I'm making truck payments. I got to pay full coverage insurance on it. And now it's in the shop for a month and a couple weeks. And it's not making money, And so that's how I look at a lot of stuff. I go, if I'm starting to have problems, something's got to change. You know what I mean? I can't eat this. I don't have time. And there's so many people they'll charge you, they'll give you back labor. Dude, I ain't got time for that. Dude, I don't know what you guys got, but I ain't got time for that. My hourly wage is way higher than when I sit there and try to call them back and then try to send it and get an RGA and then, all stuff. I don't have time for that. I need something that's a good, solid product from the get-go. Power up. Someone think it's a good product. Garage floor coatings. I do. Oh, you do garage floor coatings. Oh, motorized screens. But I haven't picked those up. Dude, that'd be sweet. It'd be cool to see. I got a family member that does the floor coatings. He's, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now into it. Does pretty good. He likes it. I guess is it Solomon? What I always call it the blowback. I love stuff. So I mean, could you possibly tell me, or if you don't do it in this, or you got other stuff, email me. Um, but I would be curious to know I call it the blowback. I love when I come see other business people. I love when they're doing, it can be anything, installing windows, roofing, and I call it the blowback. What's the blowback in your business? What kind of problems do you run into? Is it the customers? Is it you've had product issues? I know my brother-in-law was actually telling me something about he was mixing a product and he was thinking he was mixing the wrong one, like the containers. And if he does, it's gonna harden up too fast for the floor. They won't be able to keep up. And I'm like, dang, never thought about that. That's what I call blowback. You know what I mean? Like, it's what kind of problems do you run into? The weather's always, I think he deals with like some humidity, water in the concrete can be an issue. Stick this in, see if that'll help. And we got juice. They're not bad. Rich B's in the house. What's up, Rich? Rich, did you see the hot dog? The whatever I had the other day? Did you see that? Maybe it was today, saying. I thought I was gonna get a little bit of crap from me on it. I got nothing. I felt so lonely. Like you said, they just care that goes up and down, but a lot like the MyQ. That is true. That is true. Some do like the technology, so that is something that you got to filter out, And most of the time, though, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right? The stores have that stuff, so they got all the tech support stuff. And then, like I said, typically when I go to the box store, I typically try to recommend the Chamberlain. They're just the most comfortable with me. Rich got like night. Johnny for the poly rollers. Loadmaster 2. I gotta write another one down. I need something, dude. Whatever's the best. Because I don't know why he's having problems. Oops. Did I write that wrong? I did. Load master. Which I really appreciate this. This is great. It's very helpful. Because right now it's kind of like, you're having a problem with a roller? Like, that doesn't happen. That's like somebody having a problem with plastic fork. That's not possible. What kind of business? Kind of in the description. Affordable door and gate, do garage doors, rollers, gate operators, all kinds of stuff. What do you do? Let me know what you do. No, I was talking to you, Dave, about SW, the Surewinder. Did I miss something? What on the coleslaw? Mustard, Rich. Mustard. It went down great, too. I think I'm going to have to get another one. Pretty good. I don't want to hear no crap, though. You guys know me and Rich B, we got a little thing, he's all about his mustard, like I'm not really a mustard guy. I will eat mustard, don't bother me, but we like to have a back and forth on it. YouTube Live. Old Gamer. I don't know what that, I missed it. Popped off. Oh, we garage. Rich is on here. He's like, good. He says, no ketchup. How dare him. Let's go out to the parking lot. Let's see here. Surewinder gang. Oh, here we go. Maybe it was Tanner that needs a timeout. I don't know. That's right. I read the names as what was this? As a dude. That was kind of my nickname. I ain't gonna lie. It was Doobie. So. And then there was, what was it, Huey and Louie? Was that like DuckTales or something? Which was that? So one was Huey and I was Dewey. Yes, for Japan. Yeah, we are a dealer. I still have screens. And the roll-up artistic screens are both pretty hot in my area. We have 3. That's pretty cool. Quoted last week, maybe. Interesting. I'm kind of curious, Tanner, like, if you could kind of let me know too, how do you get in the leads? Like, how do you think they're coming anyways? Is it just part of like on your website? Or is it, do you guys push it? Is it because you're part of the manufacturer? You know, they're finding it as you're a dealer. Because we don't really, I don't remember ever getting phones, at least in our area. Maybe we're just too poor. Week after I measure. G-track raw leads. Early with whatever, but down 16% in leads. Exteriors, interesting. I've been pushing them a little harder. I'm like, you know, I've been telling them, hey, make sure you're asking. A lot of people don't like doing that, but it's really important. You know what I mean? I used to have a piece of paper, and I wrote all the stuff, how they'd find us, just make checks. So I could kind of gradually start seeing, you know, like, all right, you know, the online's coming pretty, you know, website, referral, you know, heard from a sticker, what's JG's got TDS, what's that? Windows, siding, doors, awning screens, gutters, and floor coatings. Holy cow. I didn't know this. You know, this is the stuff I love. I was watching where did I get it? I don't even know where I got it from, but I was on a forum or something, and somebody was saying, they were talking about gutters. And we've always get associated with gutters. You know, they always call it business. We have gutters and garage doors, which are kind of common around here. So I think they just assume all the garage door companies gutters. So I always get people calling you got gutters. Yeah, we don't do gutters. And I was telling the wife, you know, we're just sitting down at lunch or dinner, and I was telling her about it. And I said, you know, I always wanted to do. I said, I always think gutters because I've seen a couple businesses that were in the garage door. They were new, right? They've only been 3-4 years. And they were doing one of them was, what was it? They were doing garage doors, siding, and then they were doing like gutters. And they got rid of the garage door part. And so I needed the technician because I had a job for him up north. And I said, hey, you know, and they said, well, we still got the guy that was doing it, but we don't do it anymore. But he's trying to start his own. I said, great. I said, can I get his number? I said, I got a job for him. I need him to change a circuit board out for him there. And I just didn't have time. We were visiting the casino. And so I dropped it off to him. Plus I made a good lead. Got it taken care of. But I thought it was interesting that they got out of the garage doors, and I think it might still be exteriors, but they were doing just gutters. And I thought, there's got to be better money. But what I didn't know, like I said, talk about the blowback, is on a forum, they were saying that typically you're not at the job all day. So you can do 2 or 3 jobs in a day. And I went, oh. And so they were saying that's kind of difficult if you don't do like a roofing business, you know, to keep everybody busy. And I thought, oh my God, you know, I know, like I said, I got a couple of family members that start newer business, and they're running around like chickens with their head cut off trying to do estimates. And I'm just like trying to like tell them time out, like pre-qualify them. Don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. Try to stay 5 Mile famous, slow down. Don't worry about trying to get 2 or 3 crews within a year, you know, like if it comes, it comes, you know what I mean? But don't, you know, and as they're lacking manpower, that sucks. You know what I mean? Because I ran into that situation. I could still this day, like I said, we could 3x business easily, but you got to bring more people in. It's not as gravy train as what you think. You know what I mean? So, slow and steady, baby. Slow and steady. Nice and easy. Tanner says, not all our countries are into crack on tariffs. China is digging a hole at 145% tariff now. Wow. I haven't been following. I keep glancing like at the stock market. I'm like, ooh, I look at Bitcoin because it's just fun. And I just keep kind of going, oof, bloodbath today, you know, like, oh, it's in green. I mean, it's really volatile. So, you know, but I don't know. Like I said, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know which way it's going. I just know you and me are going to pay more of these. Let's see here. Yeah, we're possibly getting into awnings. Also, might make a crew just for screens and awnings, or them around the garage door service work only in screens and awnings. What's up, Mr. Evan? Talking inventory or taking inventory. You know, like I said, I still think about the awnings. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think of awnings as I'm ripping away from the building. I think about it's kind of like when we were trying to do like the docks seals. But it's such a different animal, you know. Like you got to have so many different fasteners, and it's a. I feel like it's a very skilled craft. It's like dock plates, the bumper seals around loading docks, and then what other one? There's the docks. There's the seals. I guess that's really it. But I always kind of say that's big boy stuff. You know, not that Tanner already deals with some big stuff. But I always, you know, it's like someone's got to have a different mindset. Like that's the guy in the flannel with the cigarette hanging out, you know, with a lunch pail every day, with some good old work boots, you know, some steel toes, and maybe a little bit of chew in the mouth, because you know, I don't know what happens, but sometimes in the garage door industry, like people are very rushed. I know I built that culture to some degree. I'm not real proud of it. We got 21 likes. Thank you guys too for likes. But there's times when there's times to hold them and there's times to fold them, right? So there's times when you get into certain, it's like gotta slow down. We gotta slow down. Everything's got to be safety. It's got to be, you know, it's going to be an hour to two to get in, and it's probably going to be an hour to get out. Like it's just that one of those days. And so that kind of stuff I think about, like where I'm like, you know, somebody's got to be able to run with their own credit cards and stuff like that. I think I would look at it more as like subbing it possibly. Do 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 do. Tanner, yes, they're good to get to point. No one will deal with them. Gigi, you talking to me? Talking to me, fool. After, are you working alone or with more experienced guy? It's a good question. Time to buy. Time to buy. Is that buy some stocks? Buy some stocks. Who's that one? Jim Cramer, right? So. Buy. How sometimes you have to return stuff. I've had to hook up the reverse edges, systems, bottom seals, Clopay hospital doors. We did a few months ago. Haven't done those in a few years. Had to remember. It's like trying to ride a bike again. Tanner, so why you got? He says, why you got YouTube? Oh, Tanner, so let's see here. Residential, I might have skipped something. I'm sorry if I did. Residential and commercial repairs will never stop. He says we had most profitable March company history. He says beat January and February combined. Well, like I said, you know, it just all depends. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, to me, it's always kind of like, it's like housing prices are the same across the country. They're the same everywhere. No, you know, and like I said, I always kind of feel like Michigan's always the one of the first that feels it, because we, you know, basically we got Detroit, you know, we got the Heights, we got all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? It's a very, you know, so it's just, you know, in some of those places just don't feel it until it really hits. You know what I mean? Like there's, like I said, Indiana, I thought was some areas down there that are, you know, they're lower ends, like our middle end up here. So it just depends, you know, like I said, we'll have to see how it goes. But like I said, I've seen residential start tightening up, you know what I mean? Because, you know, like I said, I don't know for sure if it's going to happen. We'll see. I mean, time will tell. I think, you know, if it's like, you know, I just don't want nobody to have to do what I did. You know what I mean? It's like I jumped into the business with just two guys. And then we had somebody not pay us $10,000, which was a huge hit when you only got like $3,000 account. So that's another thing. Me personally, I wouldn't start until I had 30,000, at least 30,000 in my bank account, just to have as, you know, to pay somebody if I got to hire somebody to help, if I got to buy some product, some buffer. You know what I mean? You know, that's just me though. You know what I mean? And when you start out basically with zero, I mean like $200, $400, $600 now, which I did, that gets eaten up real quick because you start getting a couple doors, you know, and today's door prices, that, you know, stuff can get eaten up real fast. And then if you're not getting paid right away, depending on jobs you're doing, you can get yourself burned real quick. You know what I mean? I see a lot. We got quite a few businesses around here that actually have closing because I know they got too big for their britches too fast. How wear them, but come back to after He says, I got started on it. His hard part is routing according to words so it doesn't wear on the door or track. That's interesting. Hell yeah, Mr. 475. This is good job. Rusty says, what he says, did you tell Dave that you charge for estimates? What's this? What's this? Let's see here. This is funny. He says, I charge people for just calling me. Right? I wish. This is what you got. Yeah, you know, like I always look at it, everybody's got different opinions on it, which is fine, which is great. Like I said, for me personally, I got to a point where I was so burned out, and I told myself my time is limited on this earth. I will not be here forever. And I got sick of not doing my kids' events, hanging out with my wife, enjoying my nights. You know, it's a real thing. It's a burnout is a real big thing. And for some reason, I've came to the conclusion, just my opinion, residential, commercial, that's different. Residential will waste your. They could care less. My buddy just told me today. He runs a roofing business. He goes, hey, he goes, yeah, that other company. He says the guy told me he got 3 other estimates, and he says, you know why I used you? And he's like, no. He's like, of course he's done with the job, right? He goes, you were $9,000 cheaper, and he goes, wow. He goes, I don't even know how the other company was charging that. He goes, Dave. He goes, I did good on the job. He's like, it wasn't like but he says he told me the other company was charging 9,000. What are you supposed to say to that? Obviously, the customer went with a cheaper bid. And I mean, for instance, this is my buddy. He does a hell of a job. He got many, many years in the roofing company, and he used to run basically the ABC supply. So he's very knowledgeable. And I don't know how this other company's charging $9,000. And I'm like, but then as I was talking, I know they did get bought, and who knows if that's going to last because they got bought out by another company. And I said, yeah, I drove by there. I said, I seen their building looks like it got kind of like a paint job. I said, I see they wrapped all their vehicles. Well, maybe they're getting a little too, who knows if they're going to stick around, you know what I mean? Because it is what it is. And that might be what they have to charge. But they didn't get that job, you know what I mean? So, that's what but like I said, residential people, I don't like them. I like to pre-qualify them. And I agree. Yes, I do agree that sometimes you can go out there and you can shwoo them and you can kiss their hiney and you can tell them everything under the sun and why you're the best contractor and why you're going to do the best job. But sometimes, not all the time, that still doesn't matter. You come in with that number and they go, like I said, I had a rental, same thing. Guy shows up, beautiful truck, comes out there, tells me he's got the house, the house on the lake. He got a race car. He's got, all this stuff, right? And he's, what was he? He was 10,000. I think he's around 12. He was 12 or 10,000 higher. That's just not my budget, dude. You know what I mean? Nice guy, like the guy. I think he might even got like a little bit of like better, but service in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But the other one was very, very, very bearable, if that makes sense. Like they did the job fine. It's like that light bulb thing, right? When somebody comes and they quote for a light bulb, okay, well, let me change the light bulb. It's it's $5,000. Okay, that's a little bit steep, don't you think? Another guy comes in, I'll do it for $100. And in the back of your head that if he fails, even I can still do it. I just don't got the time to do it. So everything's always a balance. It's kind of weird. It's fun business. Isn't business fun? What's this thing say? It's at 20%. All right. Future Tanner in the future Tanner. We will. I could fix doors over video. It says AI door repairs. There you go. It's coming, baby. It's coming. Ever after, how old are you? 44. Young puppy. Says I'm 39. Rich's got 61. 53. Nice. 475. It says you're only 39. What's here guy for 6'7"? Come on. How old do you think? He says. Tony. Beardy says they're old. That's okay. Tony thought I was older too. Got a good beard. He says, sister, better beard than me. uh, so I think we left. Am I that far behind? 33. I'll see if I can. This is living in the past. 24. Feel like 95 most days. Tell me about it. That's how I feel. 67. Big door ears. There you go. Starting doing push-ups, Evan. I'll start doing push-ups. 67. Nice. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So terrible. I says, I'll watch you do push-ups. 95 and attitude like smart. Oh, finish shield. All right. See, Tanner sent me that. Thank you. Says, I just did 20. I told you that. What you got? What you got? 67. You're born in 57. I really don't get that. Rusty. Missing. Big. What's it say? Missing the remote. That's in big garage door years. Tanner can't even count. 20. He says, I'm out. I was 29. I got to stay young. Gonna see her Monday. Nice. You're heading back, Rusty. Better watch out, Rusty. I heard, was it Dad Bods are coming back? Oh, snap. There you go. Yep, gonna Florida. Sunday back to Haiti. Florida sounds nice. They got nice weather down there. Sounds at least, what, Saturday, Sunday? We get some warmer weather, which will be nice. Gotta get the old lawnmower. It's time to start thinking about grass. Gonna have to start getting cut. Or me. Should buy Chevy missing remote. It looked pretty tasty. Oh, like hot dogs. Don't like the hot dogs. I was heading to Costco. How do they eat pigs in a blanket? He says that's a little different. Tanner, eat them with mustard. Mustard. What you got? Love me a good pig and blanket. Oh yes, those are good. Here's a hello. What's up? Haven't been on here in so long. Good to be back. We're glad you're here. Hope you're doing good. New in the world. Sweet or not? Oh, in Texas, you can get pig and blanket. Ooh, man. At Subway. Wow. Elevators. Most of the time, people just ask, do screens, and okay, so they asked if they got screens. Have it on our truck, trailers, and website. Okay. Cool. That's cool. Maybe eventually I can come out and get training and see if it'd be something we'd be interested in. Not too much. Just been busy with work. That's good. Ups and downs. Said hi. That's pretty cool. Well, hello. That's a good thing. Guys had weeks of work. He says backed up. Ooh, that's good. That's a good question. Here's relocated. Rusty Bridges. What do you mean? The money. What do we got here? The money is in gutter protection. Interesting. Versus gutter. He says, and it's definitely a more competitive atmosphere if you are in an area that has national marketing from a company like Leaf Guard. See, that's good. I like that kind of stuff. All right, guys, scheduling out a week or more in advance. I don't believe we are. Got some bigger ones, but they're like the fencing and stuff, gates, Not really. Work the same days every week. No money. And is it more money and more problems? I like that. There you go. That's how it goes sometimes. Moto for 2025. We have 3 awning crews. It's definitely a process. Yes, it is. It is. And guys can't prepare on the weekends, so he awnings. Oh, that's sweet. Them, so he's good with them. He says, and bought last year, for our deck. First awning 10 by 10. Oh, he says sucked. Yeah. Also accumulate BTC. Says, yeah, got it. This says Rusty. So what is profit margin awning installs? Ooh, that's kind of interesting. But after I was done, it was not too hard. He said I could 3/4 of the time. I had it better from a to get them better from a dealer than Amazon. The Amazon. He says, by the way, to people in the chat, questions that's talking, if you got questions you ask me, feel free to ask. Perfect. We talking aluminum frame awnings? Depends on fabric quality. Warranty, but 40 to 60%. Gotcha. That's good. That's good. Some do you are honest on two together. Canvas, have to put tubes together, roll out, canvas is on. Others, what city you in? Manufacture aluminum awnings too. Can't believe they're still in style in certain areas. So what are the average job size? 1,000, 2,000. For money, let's see here. Elevators. Can you speed elevators up so if he comes off the ground? That's not a bad idea. Rich, not to be revealing what I live in. Okay, this is taller building. Elevators, Rich. Speaking of taller building, what you said, have you ever heard of this building called Steel Tower? I called to ride elevators once. Sadly, the elevator locked. Oh, bummer. I heard telling he would say best cheap on your roof. Was the guy? Was the guy? Yeah. Her telling a would say best not to go cheap on your roof. One of my good buddy runs one of the large roofing companies in the area, so I just call him and don't ask the price. Nope, don't price. I gotta help with one. I gotta help with one with a family member. 24. Holy cow, we got 24 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I gotta help. I gotta do basically a roof over. I'm not real happy of. It's a complicated situation. I don't want to give too many details away because there's people that do watch my channel that can't have certain information. So, but we gotta go over. It's to save money, and it's gonna be my first one, honestly. I have to help a family member out, which is fine. He's well worth it, but yeah, just like I said, it's just gonna be, gotta do what you gotta do. Says an hour from the city where that building is at. Rusty, no freaking way. Says actually in Pittsburgh over Christmas break. Nice. Ooh, most work in suburbs, North City. Always, sir, reminded me. Channel, you definitely haven't seen me on here in a while. To advertise downtown. What's the guy? Rich Scott. Okay, I'm close to Willis's Tower. That would be a ride on our top. Holy cow. 1,451 feet. Dang. I have a busy day tomorrow, but I feel comfortable. And I'm here for personal reasons. He says I do have social media. He says, but not saying what I have since I want to keep it private. Obviously, have a good day tomorrow. Be safe. Freeze is here. What's up, Freeze? Fans still running strong, man. You still got those openers? You still got those the Sears or I think they were Sears, the orange colored ones. Rich thanks. What's up, Mr. Eric? Friday, have to hop off stream. Time to go to bed. Have a good night. Oh, Mr. Freeze. I think I'm going to start doing operator teardown videos. People like the old ones. Do the old ones if you can get your hands on them. People like the old ones. Is it, was it Andy? Andy does the ones. I think he does all kinds of different ones. He runs them, it seems like. But it would be cool to see the internals. You know, I think it's some of the older genies I'd like to see. I like to see them all. You know what I mean? Could you do it like in could you run like a little bit of background music, you know, kind of like a lullaby, you know, to make you go to sleep? Because, you know, that's when I watch them. I'm laying in bed, you know, I need something to kind of close me off to, you know, nice, soft, you know, here's the flux capacitor. And, here's the little capacitor. And here's the big capacitor. And here's the transformer. And, oh, here that goes round. Wee, wee, wee. I don't know. You know. What's the stream about? Garage doors, business, all that kind of stuff. Small entrepreneurs, Robinhood, garage door business, etc. Yes, it's very cool, very cool. It's kind of new, cool name too. That Robinhood. Wish I had that handle. You can look my channel, Tony's Garage Door Service. He's got the truck. He does garage doors too. He's got good stuff. Community here. True. My Sears are doing good. Nice. Rich has got the wooden ones. These ones are like orange. I'm more interested in the new ones. You thinking for teardowns? Teardowns, are you finding that too? Like I said, I thought doing some of the more modern ones, like the Pro Max. I thought about doing something like on that, just for my own knowledge too. And then I just like would like list it or something. That way you can just go bye-bye and see if try to stay close in case it blows up. I wish I had more time to do it. I really don't have a lot of time to do it. And the new ones are easy. You know, the problem is the new ones are easy, but it's still good to know the information because like somebody like me, like that Pro Max, it'd be cool to like run it too, you know, in a sense, because like now, I still don't know if you cross the photo eye, if it blinks. And I'm like, well, how do they have that technology? If you cross the photo, it still blinks. Like, I love that. And I don't know what the internals look like. I didn't open it up. I got it to run. So, but there is a lot of openers that I'm, you know, like what is that one that Craftsman has? Is it Craftsman? It's Craftsman. The new one that basically looks like it's made by Guardian. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. That looks like a pie poo poo. And I don't know. I just, yeah. Yeah, Brahma, but watch out for Tanner guy says he can be a smartass. Or was that Ovicta? Is that Volca Devodio colors? Yeah, Brahma, and he's 67 too. He's an old fart. As we talk politics, well, Canadian politics. I know. I thought Evans don't they got an election, he said, in a couple days? Haven't heard much from Trudeau. He's not really, just not in the. I never really understood. We had Whitmer. How she went and, I don't know, she did something with Trump. I don't know what, but I didn't really follow it. Wish we says wouldn't have gone anywhere we love Joe. Wish he wouldn't have gone anywhere. Oh, you talking about old Joe? Old Joe. Oh, Tanner. Oh, yeah, so we are all from Canada. I forgot to mention that. Whatever. Oh, man. There's Tony's ass. 51st state. There you go. Oh, man. Tony, you got anything lined up? Anybody got stuff? What's going on tomorrow? Friday? Anybody working the weekend? I think I'm going to try to take the weekend off. I got, what do I got? I don't know. It's been a busy week, but it's, she may have got something. I forget what. One is probably to get the lawnmower. It's that time. Oil change. Make sure it gets a new set of blades on it, like good stuff. Belts are good. We got a little bit of nice weather. 50s, 60s. Nah, it was just going to touch 60, maybe 59. So that's perfect working weather for me. And tomorrow, I don't know what's tomorrow. I didn't look at my agenda. Oh, Eric's got it. He says, mine are orange, red ones. He says, inside, he says, old ones are same. Motor, belt pulley, relay, capacitor, light, delay, and some switches. Ooh, some switches. There you go. Oh, look at Tony. He says, Tanner, he says, how many bush lights are you in? Oh, man. What do you got, Rusty? Dave, what is the biggest change you need to make this year to your business? Ooh, good question. I don't really know. Like I said, I've still been kind of just sitting back, kind of, and getting some intel here and there. To me, it's still going to be really crunching down, I think, on the whole, kind of shooting for that 5 mile famous. Now, I know it's not exactly 5 mile, but that's just the terminology work, right? We don't want to be a long distance loser. So I'm just looking at more, probably picking up more of some of the residential, just because it's quick turnaround. And like I said, we do darn near 75 to probably 80% of our commercial. Not to say there isn't a couple, but a couple of them are some really dirty jobs, like some foundries that, if they we would do it, but you know what I mean? So, but that's probably, I might let Cap know that if he wants to, because he's talking about he really doesn't like doing fencing. I don't blame him, but I actually doing fencing. So maybe pick up on the fencing a little bit, but probably just doing a little more advertising. Like I've said before, we don't do any. It's just a little bit I do try to do on free social media here and there, very, very dabblish. And but thought about turning it up a little bit. But like it's kind of one of those things I don't. It's how do you say it? It just is what it is. Whatever comes. I was thinking about making some of those signs, trying those out for a little bit. The bandit signs. I haven't had signs here in forever, which actually reminds me. Let me go look while we're here and see if I still have one. I don't even know if I stuffed one in the corner a long time, but I haven't done signs in like forever. I bought an aluminum one. I bought an aluminum one years ago. I remember I paid like 400 some bucks for it. I put it at the old place. I don't know, man. I haven't done signs in forever. I was thinking if I had it, I got a good, is it there? Sometimes I just stash stuff somewhere. You ever like that? I like a little squirrel, stash stuff somewhere, because I'm like, one day, I might. Actually, it's funny. I'll tell you a little story. There's a clock right here. I don't know if this one's my grandpa's. I got two, but I think this one would be my grandpa that passed away. This used to be my office. What? What do you mean? This was my office. See this little table here? This was my office because we were so busy and nothing ever done. In that office, it was so damn busy. I could not be in there. People talking, customers coming in. It was like I needed to be somewhere quiet. So this used to be my little office. I had a little clock, just try to make it a little homey. I was in the corner with the great stuff. All right, let's see if we can find it. I think it's here. Hey, I thought there might be two of them. It's here. I'll be darned. We got one. Look at that. Look at that. This thing's got to be 10 plus years old. Is it both sides? What do you do, both sides? Hell yeah, I did both sides. Dude, sweet. I can actually take that. I could take that to my, I feel like I kept a steak. I can keep, there's one kind of right here. Kind of. This one's kind of a different steak. Ooh, it's got the heavy duty one too. Sweet. There you go. That can come with me. Man, they got all kinds of crap lined up in here. They got to get stuff. Some of the stuff's got to get going. All these doors. That looks like more of a commercial size. That one. That's a big spring right there. But yep, I'll take this to we got a good print company. One guy reached out to me. If you need a good print company, it might be. I know they're kind of hard to find, but you could always. I don't care if you kind of mimic me, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I can already you could just tell them, say hey, talk to this guy like Uncle Dave. You ever hear of him? And they'd be like, yeah, we know who he is. And but like if you need like stickers and stuff made, some things like this, it's already done. You just got to change it to whatever design. But they know the material, they know the sticker quality. I'm kind of picky like that. So, and then maybe they'll have signs. You can tell them you want this size sign or whatever if you want. That's sweet. That's gonna be a lot easier for me to take because our old print company, they went out of business. I think quite a few years ago. So I haven't done that stuff in a long time. It's gonna be new. It's gonna be new to me, which is great. I don't even think we got. Like I said, we haven't needed them. I don't even think we got business cards. What you got? What I miss? Oh, ooh, what you got? What you got? Tony, I see. Oh, plus, hey, 25. We got 25 likes. Thank you guys so much. Says the battery went flat. 0 turn. So gotta buy a new one. Oh, those darn batteries. Must be nice. I'm glad 0 turn sounds would be kind of nice. I like to up our one lawnmower. Sadly 0, but I figure can play catch up tomorrow. Oh, cool. Play catch up. Guys, hey man, those are the days too. You get slammed, you get hit with something. 3 service calls come in, boom, big job, something happens, broken springs, doors crooked. Oh, existing 9x7 foam core into a high lift. So the guy can video golf under it. Interesting. Tony, did you mean from 13th promise? Yeah. Well, is a promise. That's what they up in Canada. It's a Canada thing. A large angry beavers are equal estate, he says, is what you call your towns. That's what they do. They call theirs up there the province. What is up there? Stinking TV not working. Tony, yeah, starting out at 7:30. Started out at 7:30, which is early for me. Man, why so early? Why so early? I says, yeah. He says, I like the P reference better. Makes more sense. What I see, Dave has racks. Was that the rafters? Making me think it will be there still in 50 years. Ooh. Evan's got, stay 5 mile famous. He said, I'll try and stay 8 kilometers famous. That's cool. That's funny. I love it. That's cool. A couple spring jobs and a mystery one. Ooh. Says you got the helper. I don't know if that was for me. What's it? Tony says, I feel for you, Tanner. Extras tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. Making my head hurt, he says. What does it says? Googling the difference. Tony, yes, sir. I got a clock in my garage like that. Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if that clock really keeps good time or not. I kind of bought it as kind of I got it, but I just kept it as kind of a sentimental, kind of for my. But like I said, 2 of them. I don't remember for sure which one was out of the garage. That was his. So I keep both. I don't know. Unfortunately, my grandpa was kind of a jerk. One. I think both my grandpas were. They're pretty grumpy. Tanner already did. Says, now, Rusty, glad. Motivated. Yes, it did, Rusty. It definitely made me think about it. Definitely gonna have to see about getting some made. The problem is I don't think I can do that one like do like a Vista because it's got that our logo, the AD on there. So I think it's just gonna be easier. They can screenshot it. They can do whatever they want because I don't got the JPEG or whatever the stuff that they're gonna want for that anymore. Because that was always the big thing. The vendor got, you have to send this. Didn't get it. It's not the right format. It needs 1080p or something. Blah blah blah. Change all this. You resend. Call them back out. Can you resend to me a different way through an email so I can forward it to them? Oh, those are the fun days. Do 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 do. You're gonna start with the band sign. I thought about it. I'm always a very, I've how do you say it? In a nutshell, you can piss a lot of money away. It's just a nutshell. You can do the whole Google. Not saying it doesn't work. But I always, I like to be able to retract really easy, and those are easy to retract. Either they get picked up, stolen, you pick them up yourself. But you'd be surprised. Like I said, I see them all around all the time. I use the people all the time. I use them for tree service. I use them for HVAC. I use them for power washing because I'm like, man, like I'm assuming when I see them, right, I'm going, that person's hungry. You know what I mean? That person wants business. That's a human being. Somebody put it. That's not like when I go to the Google stuff nowadays, right? When I like type in certain searches, I always know how it works. I'm business, sponsored, or oh, this one, let me click. The phone number is not even, what is that area code? You Google it, it's like 2 states over. It's like, what the, no, I'm not dealing with that. You know what I mean? So you just move on. But like when I see the signs, I'm like, hey, they're probably hungry. They're, somebody human put this out there. And, obviously guys, you got to use it with a grain of salt because obviously, you get somebody that's whoever, right? It's like me, I was talking to my uncle the other day. We're talking about like tree guys, right? And he goes, you know how that works, the tree guys, right? He says they drop the tree. Oh, hey, we need the rest of the payment. We'll be back tomorrow, clean it up. And they don't show up. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how they always go. It's called, I don't know if they still use that terminology. I worked with a roofing guy. He always would tell me that he'd be like, hey man, he goes, spike the job. And I go, spike the job? He goes, yeah. He goes, because once we start, they can't call anybody else. They could, but normally they're not. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Well, we're going to spike the job, or at least start it. And he says, we're not going to finish it, or we'll just tarp it but we'll get started so we can, all right, whatever, What I do with it? What's Tony got? I know I'm gonna get art that I can have sitting here for when Evan speaks. I put yard science. He says, but election going. He says don't need people thinking I'm for office. I'll just put it. It says in your name. It's Evan's garage door. Like I said, I'd get them made. I honestly would. That's what if I was starting out and I didn't have a lot of money. I would definitely have business cards. Like we've mentioned before, get yourself the stickers. Get some stickers because these are repeat. Every door you're touching, every job, right? These are they'll call you back. They lose the business card, whatever. It's stuck to the door. They know who to call. The next owner. This is your future. This is your future. I actually know a door company. About an hour away at a big competitor, a big company, franchise company bought them because they knew that they had oodles of this through the towns and they wanted that phone number. So, you just never know where these lead. They're great. They look professional. Hey, if you got any problems, our number's on the door. I like it, like I said, the ones that you can date because I like to know what happens because my memory's not that good. But, so business cards, stickers, t-shirts, sweaters, hats, whatever, just yourself if you don't want to give them away. And then the good old bandit signs. Like I said, can't see. Like I said, they're great. They're cheap. You know what I mean? And if you're worried about it, what you can do is you can have people, you can put them on the weekend, put them out on a Friday evening, it starts getting dusk or whatever. Just put them Friday evening, let them sit, pick them up on a Sunday evening if you don't want them, getting pilferage, whatever. But typically the municipalities are all closed. And you'll know, like once you start putting in certain areas, you find out that they don't allow it. They typically don't call you. They're just going to take your sign and they will keep them typically, but for only so long, and then they pitch them. So, but for me, what are they, like $11? I don't, yeah, they just go away. You know, I ain't gonna dare to talk to them. And they, you know, you're not supposed to have signs in our city. Yeah, I know, I get it. And you're supposed to not have speeders. I get it. You're not supposed to have chemtrails. I got it. You know, like, and you know, don't drink water out of the puddles. You know. Do, 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 do. Providence president. Rusty Evan, make a sign that says elect Evan's Garage Door Service as your new provider. Ooh, I like that. I like that. That's good. Do, 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 do. What's this guy? Tony, now all time to do it, Evan. People will be looking at him. That's a good point. People will be looking at them. And like I said, and, you know, normally you can buy like a small quantity. And, you know, I mean, one thing I'm not good at, I would like to be better at sometimes in businesses is that, like, for instance, for like that one, I'm going to stick with it, right? That's why I'm just going to let our company make it. But, you know, you do need to almost stick with, you know, you try to anyways. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can stick to the same font, the same color schemes, so everything starts coordinating to that, because you don't know how people think. And I'm one of them, right? Like, I'm looking for a certain logo, I'm looking for a certain little critter, I'm looking for a certain font or colors, you know, because I see stuff just in the corner of my eyes. What was that one? You know, oh yeah, I said something. And I would agree. I've been looking more, so I'd have to, with Mr. Papa Tony, we talked about this one time about your name, saying what you do. I've been looking at a lot of vehicles going by. They got the magnets or whatever, kind of like the one over here, you know, maybe bigger, but it says stuff on it. But I can see it says like evolution. I'm like, okay, what's evolution? Evolution, and I'm trying to like read the bottom, like, do they do windows, roofing, power washing? What the hell do they do? You know, I'm thinking like first I want to know what you do, because if it's something that I want done, then you know I want your information. And so it's funny how I keep looking at signs now, and I'm like, can't tell what you do. You know, like, so that's why it is good to have it in your name, you know, or if not, at least have it the same size or a little bigger even. I don't know. Now it's time. You don't got business cards? He says I'm a rookie, and I got business cards. He said we haven't needed them. We've like I said, we've had customers kind of far away. I don't think like I said, we haven't needed them. Like I said, but now that we're going to try to focus, you know, a little more, and like I said, things are. Let's see what's up here. Just curious. Oh, here's those surge protectors I'm using. Like I said, I don't know if they're working or not working. Where's those guys? Let's see what those are. Don't know if they any good. I don't know. This is what we got. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look, shall we? These ones are caps, so I'm not gonna revolve the information, but we do have some. Ours are fancy. You can see from far away. Oh, got the red, white. I don't know what they exactly. So we do have some. But see, the thing is for me, like, I don't advertise anymore. Like, I used to go out, I had shirts and stuff like that. Most of the time now, as weird as it sounds, this is really weird, you know what I mean? But I get roped into the, you know, like the buddy thing, you know, hey, can you do it? No, nope. What's up with this TV, man? Why is it not working? It's like it wants to light up. It lights up right there. The old TV took a dump on us? Kind of seems like it. Oh, let's see here. I won't stay on too long. Like I said 11:30 the most. No nighttime. He says, and you can say make doors great again. I love it. And on your sides, I think I would go Over very, size, he said, I think that would go over very well. I think it would. What? Oh, it jumped on me. Maybe in 10 years, Tanner. Oh, this is TDS, he says, up here. Love it. Tanner. Eric says, Tanner. That would be my slogan. Says, when I start making ups, follow your dream. He says, I'm putting it on my company shirts on the back. Evan, what's a EDS? Tanner's. Tanner, Tony's Dough Service. Eric. 200% tariff on electric boards from China. Yowzers. Oh, Tanner, your president isn't liked much by most people. Isn't liked. I don't think it isn't liked, yeah. Got it, Rusty. Rusty says, I still think Google is where it's at. Yep. You give them $600 per month and customers that pays $5,000 and it pays for itself. Maybe true. Like I said, our ticket normally isn't that much. You know, it's, well, I can't say that last one I just did. That one was right up there. But, you know, I mean, you know, for a young man starting out, you know, depending on if they, you know, they got a house payment, they got a car payment, they got to put food in their belly. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I just look at stuff that you can do, you know, but like I said, yeah, I think we'll, but how do you, you know, you got to get up there. It just all depends, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's all a weird balance, isn't it? It's a weird balance. But yeah, I think Google is great, you know what I mean? But I think for somebody on a budget, do the banner signs. Do the banner. Get yourself a banner sign. This one's even got the old cobwebs on it. Ugh. Spideys. Been a long time. Been a long time. That helps too. Right there. That was our big thing. I got that from Chicago. You don't have to always obey by it. You know what I mean? Just tell them, offer that service. But today, it doesn't exist. Today, we are booked. Sorry. Call somebody else. But you got them on the phone, so try to capture them. Rusty, you're not doing it for, what jumped on me? Not if it's one, doing these, they're fidget spinners. Anyways, I need soybeans and corn. Well, darn it, jumped on me again. I still love LiftMaster. I didn't have a single warranty callback last year on any openers. Really? You just don't know enough openers. Man, I know we've gotten a few. But like I said, Cap's kind of going back to the LiftMaster. We've had problems with Genies again. But, you know. What map is that? Oh, the map. Yep, Michigan. Michigan and Upper Peninsula. My professor was from the UP. Oh, he was a Youper. He was a Youper, not a troll like I am. We're a troll. I always thought it was a bummer. We got the troll name. They got the cool name, the Youper. You get to be a Youper. Nice, you're a professor. He says, I don't think there is one magic for advertising. It all works together. Yeah, I'd agree. I think you know, it's like you be somewhere, you got a jacket or shirt on or whatever, it's got your name, somebody taps you on the shoulder, hey man, you do, you know, yeah, you know, gotta give a business card. The one I never did, I always wanted to do is I always wanted to offer like a free shirt because people like around here, at least in my geographical area, love hoodies, love sweaters. And I always wanted to do like one per family. Because think about it, right? I mean, people, you give me a free sweater, dude, I'm wearing it. You know what I mean? Like, I wear that thing until it's got holes in it, you know? But think about how much advertising you're doing for, you know, especially if you got colder climates and stuff like that. I agree. Says we agree. Says we export food to the world. Until they do better electronics, ditch the camera, separate limit, force, and no motors sound like an electric screwdriver from Harbor Freight. Isn't that what Andy says? Andy said they sound like a vacuum cleaner. I thought that was funny. I was thinking about it. Evan's still here, I'm assuming. You know, in Evan's garage door, he did a great job. It was quiet. There was no doubt about it. But I remember I'm listening to it, right? And it's doing the, I'm sitting there going, all I kept thinking about was Andy. I go, Andy says it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It sounds like, and it's still quieter. I mean, it is what it is. But I just thought, I don't know. Time will tell. The only problem in South America is probably a lot more crops now and could take the market over. Dave, if you started doing more residential, would you price hourly or flat rate? Ooh, I don't know. I'm kind of like looking at I like the idea of so I got a couple guys that do it, outside of affordable, and they're just part-time, but I like the flat rate, or day rate, I'm sorry. It's kind of nice. Just pay them a day rate. They do a good job. But with the customers, they just do their pricing accordingly to whatever the shop, they charge, which is fine. So, but it's nice just that they're going to get set rate paid. Boom. It's just, you don't have to deal with was it 4 hours? Was it 6 hours? So, and sometimes weekends work good for you. Haven't really decided, but like I said, really like the idea of 5 Mile Famous. Really like that idea. The more I travel, as older I get, I just go, every time I get in a vehicle, every time I go, this is stupid. I just sit there, my brain goes through all the variables and problems that we could have, or what I forget, or what if I get there and I need something, and it's like, who am I going to call, to run me something or meet me halfway? So, Eric says, have you tried unplugging it again and plugging it? God darn it, that's a smart idea. I don't know if I can. This is more of a modern chair. I better I'll take my socks or take my shoes off. Let's try that. Ugh. Which one is it? Let's try them. It's a good idea. What's the normal? We gotta count to 10. 1, 2, 3. I can't count to 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 10. There, close enough, right? All right. It's getting to be that time. Probably been here, 10 some years now? I can't remember. I should have put a placard on this darn place. We'll give it a second. In case it wants to light up on itself, which it probably won't. Good idea. Maybe we should. I never went over there to show them how to farm. Ooh, still can't beat Iowa. He says we have some of the best soil in the world. Installing. I haven't got it. So are we installing the performance max? Eric, for other people. Let's do it. For a budget, they should be, what's it say, stopping at every business with a garage door and try to get jobs, putting signs out and hoping it won't work as much. Yeah, there's all kinds of different ways you knock. You can talk to customers. Eric's got mega. Rich has got true, but down there they don't have all the government restrictions holding them back. That is true. I feel like there was a video I seen. I was thinking, Rich. I was like, I need to send this. I should send this to him. It says no, the TV. Yes, that might come back to bite them. But other lose, resign. Also, Rusty says I'm making camouflage. Ooh, with our name. Every year I'd hand them to friends, local police and hunting buddies. Dude, that'd be sweet. If you get one designed or send me some pictures because it'd just be cool to. It might be something that might not be a bad idea. Come on, wakey wakey. It's weird, like this light. Oh, maybe it's like it lights up and then it goes away. I don't know what that means. Weird. Captain tell me it was broke. Probably just thought it was off. It was off. I don't even know where the remote is. It's been a good TV for as many years as it's been on. Same here. Just picked up 4 new Cam Flex Fit caps. Decided which one I want, so I picked all of them. Oh, nice. Signs, advertising, word of mouth. Will it be best advertising if you want to stay 5 Mile famous? It's true. That's true. Tanner's got 20 likes. We need 2 more. What are we at? You got 28? Shoot, they only got that Rob, man. We need to exchange with everyone. There you go. Maybe we just have a big, we should just have a big party. I think we should all try to do a meetup. I get it. I know everybody's busy and stuff. But I'm gunning for the IDO, IDA Expo. Next year because it's gonna be in Vegas. I'm game. Check it out, see what's new. Maybe get to be able to shake hands with SOS or something, or even you. That'd be great. Like I said, it'd be awesome to see. I just know it's kind of on the other side, which we won't have a lot. I think we got who's over there. Sky's over there. Haven't talked to Sky in a few days, or a couple lives here, I should say. Hope he's doing well. I'm at large. I'm large in cart. Rusty, maybe. And mentioned we do that. Oh, see, there you go. He was already thinking. He's already ahead of me. Red Brand TV. Let me find out. Is it Vizzo? Is it Vizzo or something? I don't know. I don't know if that's any good. It's worked good for some years, but I don't know. She just ain't computing no more. It could be I don't know if this thing's hooked up to. I guess it probably does not help that this power button does not look very good. I don't know. I don't know if it's that big. I've had like one of those computer screens around that I'm like ready to throw in the garbage. Just haven't gotten around to it. And so maybe it needs to come here. Tanner says, I'm currently using a logo that may or may not resemble Harley Davidson. I haven't seen them rusty. Nice. TV probably crapped out. Yeah, I think it did. It's been, like I said, I don't even remember the date we were here. We've been here. I want to say it was around 2016. And we kind of built this place out, I think. I like the car key. Just good stuff. Without the gangsta press. Try smacking it. I will maybe after the live. Get her. Teeter. Fixes makes his work. We can all meet. Brothers. Oh, in Holland. Oh, that's right. You're still doing that. I forgot about that. For a second, I thought I said TV. Was it Lizzo or something? Says the wall switch is off. The wall switch. Well, the problem is this. Look, this is the problem. You do this right. There's a button back there. It's the power, I believe. That's what I've done for all these years, right? And look, I hit it. Boom, I hit it, and then look at that little light comes on. It's got juicy, and then it does that like it's gonna fire up, and then it goes, yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep. So that's what's throwing me. This thing's kind of weird too. This green, this was back, where you at? Here you are. This isn't very lit very much either. We don't really use, it's kind of one of those things like it was kind of funny because back in the day, the old secretary that no longer works here, she'd be in here, like, there'd be like The Price is Right would be on and stuff. And I come in, I'm like, what are you doing? She's watching TV. You know, I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know, but we just have the internet, but I don't use that box anymore. But that should have our cameras. I think our camera's going. I have to look on the phone. So, but you know how it is. A TV should fire up, right? Oh, low battery. We're getting close. Turn. He says, "We'll be down. It's only 45 minutes from me. Have issues with backlight when they get old. Gotta get, oh, really? Toshiba? I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated. I really am. You're a wealth of knowledge, and I believe you. I got a fan, man. The fan's still running. So these are known for backlights, huh? That's pretty much what it is, isn't it? It's like it wakes up at the back. It's not lighting up, you know. So, it says hi. He says well, like I said, Eric, if you come across something that you know is a good brand, let me know. I'm all about, I like stuff that lasts over, I like to hit 10, 20, 50, but I know the world we live in. Like I said, I think I got a couple monitors. I don't know exactly how they mount. It's kind of like one of those jobs that I really like to hire it out, but I know I can do it, and I know I'm not gonna probably hire it out. But I'm not a TV tech guy. It's just not. It does not sound fun. I'd rather go crawl underneath the truck and do an oil change or tear out a wheel bearing, than to mess with this TV and mount. You know what I mean? But obviously something happened. It should get fixed. Do I speak Russian? No, I don't speak. You need a new TV. That's how they normally quit. Oh, really? I haven't had a TV. Like I said, I don't. We only got one TV. You know what I mean? Won't ever. It's just plays kids movies or something. While we don't watch the news or anything. Like I said, pretty much it's the old YouTube world. Tony, that's telling you bad circuit board. Do you think so? Just pay the kids a half meal to try and fix the TV. Power surge. Dang it. See? I knew I should have put one of these cute little power surges on there. That probably, I don't know if they would have worked or not. Look at these cute little things. These things are, I just put one on that door I did. What the heck? There's two in here? Oh, it's a 3-pack. Oh, sweet. That's cool. I didn't know that had that many in there. Look at that cute little, that's going to save your life. What protected means. If it's when it turns on, it means it's bad, or it's just when it's on, it's protected. I don't know. I don't know about these things. Time will tell. It doesn't hurt. It's worth a shot. That's for sure. Huh. Power surge. Eric says I've used TCL. That's been a good TV. Oh, I should drive up there and bring you a new TV. I think I got one. I think I got two. I forget what they are. Because we don't use them anymore. I probably could throw that up there. I just hope the mounting's not all goofy. I got to do something crazy. I have to go to Walmart and deal with whatever. I think this thing telescope out. It's made so it's on a mount and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Looks like it's crooked. Yeah, it's crooked. Who did it? But it's great to have for when you're here at nighttime and stuff, so you can see outside what's going on, with your vehicle or traffic and stuff. Actually, it's in October. I stand corrected. I know when I say, what is this? Tony says, I don't know, but I did stay at a Holiday 8 last night. That's good. Neat. Oh, yeah. Zenith. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what we used to have. No, we had a quasar. Was it a quasar? The one, like when you're watching TV, the screen would start flipping, and it'd start going faster and faster and faster. And then you had to turn the dial a certain way to make it so the screen would quit flipping. Oh, those were the good old days. Didn't know, but I did say, let's see. I can tell you what TV I have. He says, my brother, old one, he says, watch Yellowstone, and sometimes the live chats, he said, I turned it on for about 5 months last year. He says, go outside, people, right? It says, yeah, floor model. Council, council one. It says, hi, who's got that over there? Oh, I got you. It's just a universal. It should work with any modern TV. Oh, that's good. Come up here. I'll just pay you. Just come over here and fix this stupid thing. It's not my cup of tea, I'll figure it out. Like these little mini splits. These mini splits, you gotta clean them out every once in a while. Where are you? Here you are. Those they gotta put an apron in here and they gotta rinse the thing out. It's kind of a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? It's time. The TV stuff. I know the printer doesn't get used. Everything's done electronic now. I'm not used to that. You know how many times I used to use these printers all the time, and like constantly always faxing and doing stuff. Now everything's just done online. Email. So the problem now we have with the printers is they don't get used enough, so the inks get all gelled up in them. So so we gotta I think the Wifetron comes in here and she prints stuff randomly just to use it so it gets use. Crazy times. Toshiba. Gotta love having a grandfather who high up in the company, get a deal on them. Nice. What's this that Dave's got a hand? What's that mean? I know somebody knows. All right, you guys. We might as well get out of here. Tomorrow's Friday, TJF. I don't know what's happening for the weekend. If I don't talk to you over the weekend, I hope you have a weekend. I'm going to try to get the one, I got a little video, I think with Caleb. We looked at a wood door, working on cap. This one was a 20 by 20. Yeah, that was fun. So, but anywho, thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for all the likes. And I don't know. I guess we're going to see you on the next one. See if we get the TV fixed eventually here. So I got some monitors, and we'll go from there. I say good night. Got to fix it, or to fix it. Oh, to fix it. Got it. Otherwise, see you guys in the next one. Make sure you keep your fingers. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the comments. I enjoy it. And have a good night. Get some sleep. Time to go to bed, or do some research. Learn something. Or watch one of my 200 or 800. I don't know how many videos I have. You should watch one. See ya.